Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So again, welcome you all to the second session of the day, where I'll be discussing on the political advertising and its impact on the electoral process in the post-colonial India. So this particular session will concentrate more on the importance of political advertising, what is the impact the political advertising has on the electorals, and how there has been a
Video on my
Ma'am, can you put everything on mute, please? Please mute your microphones, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the thing is, it will be more on how the evolution of the political advertisement has taken place in the post-colonial India. Since from the print, I told you in the previous session that it was more concentrated on the print aspect of it. But now we have moved on to social media, we have moved on to the personalized algorithms that we'll be discussing in the following slides. Okay. So as we all know, advertising today, thank you, sir. As we all know, tell us was update. Okay, so as we all know that political advertisement, okay, when we speak of advertisement, it is nothing but a paid form which is being used today, and the kind of importance what an advertisement has, we all know, because it is a personalized message, it can be of a service, it can be a goods, so which has been a part and parcel of our daily life, okay. So when we speak of this political advertisement, okay, what is the kind of influence? Okay, we need to study, and we wanted to study about how politicians, especially the political advertisements, have made a great impact in terms of the voters' perception. Okay, we want to see how voters get carried away by these advertisements. And is there any kind of a change or a behavioral change which has been brought out by this political advertisement, and also the elections outcomes? At the end of the day, you know how much of the money is being spent. I'll be coming in the following slides as to how the money aspect and how the media has been playing a very crucial role in political advertisement. So we'll be speaking about that, and also the kind of content which has emerged, or that is ideological pamphlets, or maybe the multimedia campaigns. I told you in the previous session, there is a lot of multimedia campaigns which is happening. So we will see how this whole political advertisement has been formed, and how it has shaped the outcome of the elections, and whether the electoral or the where the people of the civil society has been carried away by that. And yes, this objectives of my presentation, again with the same thing, it is for my easy presentation. So one is to see, we'll go back to the history, because history is very much important for us. So we'll see the tracing of the history of how the political advertising in India has started, and also we'll see how there has been a shift, okay, paradigm shift which has happened. Through that, examine the evolution of these advertising platforms and the strategies. Okay, political parties have been using different strategies to reach out to the electorals. Okay, so we'll also see, examine that, and also see how this will try to evaluate the impact of the political ads on the voters' behavior. Okay, whether the content, the pictures, the colors, the logos, or maybe everything, each and everything. I'll be taking some examples. I'll tell you how it has impacted the way in which these political advertisements, whether it's a newspaper or a radio ad, or it can be television, or it can be a digital campaigning, all those things, how it has helped us. And also some key studies. Okay, I'll also taken some key important case studies post-independence election, which is very well aware of us. We have been seeing, you people might have seen it from the political perspective, but I'm seeing it from a lens of a media, in terms of money, in terms of font, in terms of the message, what kind of a message they are trying to give, all those things. And also we'll also try to discuss, I'll also try to touch upon the legal thing and the ethical and also the regulatory concerns. Okay, do we have, or whether the concerns what we have is the common in all the global arena, whether contextually and global, that also we'll try to study in this particular session. Why advertisement? And to again take it out, it is my specialized area, and I love doing work on this advertisement, like radio advertisements. We have been doing some little works and all. So political advertisement, yes, it is always a fascination to speak about the political thing. So one is first what political advertisement is all about. So we commonly know what political advertisement is all about, but it is nothing but a paid communication which happens in order to persuade only the voters. Whereas the commercial one or maybe the other kind of the thing what you see, it is only to persuade the buyers or the consumers or the customers. But whereas in a political advertisement, we see how you can persuade a voter. Okay, voter is very much important. So nowadays, yes, we have been seeing there is an inclusion of paper. When I say print, it can be newspaper advertisements or magazine advertisements, or it can be pamphlets, it can be brochures, all those things. And we have got radio. Radio advertisements are called as spots. Okay, we call them as political spots. So how radio, whether it is an all India radio or now we have access to the FM radios, how they have been working, television, digital, outdoor advertisements, and also the influencers endorsement. Today it is a very common one, so that is also be discussed. And also we'll try to see how the candidates have been using. Okay, it is very much important for us to see how the candidates have been using this thing to frame a personality for themselves, how the image building activities. Okay, when I say image building, how a political leader or how a political candidate or a candidature, how he tries to build his image, that is very much important. Then campaigns. Okay, there has been a campaign, attacking campaigns. Then there are many advertisements which are sponsored solely by the political parties and the candidates and also the third party. Okay, there are many people who will be doing these things for you. Okay, so that will also try to study. So post-colonial, okay, I'll not be going back much, but I'll be touching upon here and there. Yes, in the previous years and all, we know in the colonial period and all, it was considered to be a propaganda. There is a huge difference between a publicity, a propaganda, a PR, and an advertisement. Okay, so these four are very important. So though each and every component what I mentioned just now speaks about influencing the customers, influencing the people, but there is a huge difference. A very thin line also we can say what propaganda, when I say propaganda, it is about religious propaganda, or it can be an political propaganda. So those kind of a thing. So in the colonial period, going back before the freedom what we got, it used to be a more of a propaganda. Okay, it is just because we were fighting for our freedom. So that's the reason why it has been to form together the national integrity and also to have a freedom. So there was censorship. Everything was restricted only to the media. Advertisements was not allowed, as you all know, and it was a very expensive. People never used to advertise. Only small things used to be done. That was the kind of a day. Then when we come to this post-colonial India, there is a most important resources. Media today has become one of the most important resource for any kind of advertisement, okay, especially political advertisement here. Then here, why advertisements are very much important? Because it speaks about the powerful asymmetries what we have. And also when we discuss those things in the public sphere, when we speak about these advertisements in the public domain, many advertisements have created ripples in the society. Okay, I'll come to it when I speak about the case studies also. Then even whenever an advertisement is being given, whether it is in a newspaper or a radio or a television, always remember it speaks about the ownership. It speaks about who are the people who are getting access to these advertisements. So if there is a newspaper advertisement, I'm just giving an example. Illiterates may not read it. They may see the picture, but they will not see the content. The same thing. If it is a television, anybody can have an access. If it's a digital, only the digital people who know what it is, they can have access to it. So the thing is that in today's time, in today's present world, what we have seen as media academicians and media researchers is there has been a huge dominance of narrative. Okay, how the content and how the story is being told. What is the kind of pictures you are using? Even using a black and white picture conveys a lot of things. The font in which what you are using, that also conveys a lot. So there has been a kind of a narrative dominance, what we have seen in the post-colonial period. Yes, this is just a chart for you people to understand how the evolution of political advertising have started. 50s and 70s. Again, I've taken it only after the independence. Majority of the political advertisement used to be restricted only to the print ads and the wall posters. Okay, what are the wall posters, wall paintings kind of a thing. So that used to be an outdoor kind of an advertisement because we were not digitally developed, we were not technologically developed. So we used to have the restrictions from print ads, and most of the political parties used to write their ideologies or write anything about the programs in the form of a wall writing or a wall posters that was there. Then cut to 1980, we had Doordarshan, we had radio. So almost all the television political ads, small political ads used to come on television and radio. In 1990s, with the evolution of printing, science and technology, with the coming of the computers over the time, people started going for glossy prints. Okay, people started trying the colorful advertisements, radio jingles were being mod. Okay, spots and we call it as the spots. So that used to be the jingles. Everything used to followed by a jingle and all. 2000, yes, multimedia campaign started because we had a lot of satellite televisions coming in. So computer wise, internet has started coming into the country. So there was a lot of changes, photoshops and colorful photographs used to be done. So there was some changes. But 2020, 2010 to the present day, or 20s, I should say, early 20s, what we are right now, we are glued more with the social media advertisements, the influencers, and data driven targeting. I'll also tell you what is this data driven targeting, especially used by the political advertisements in the country. So these are the key thing. And as I told, why, what are those things? When I say print advertisement, when I say print advertising and political advertisement, we have manifestos. Every political party will have a manifesto. As soon as you open the paper, the front page, the whole page will be an advertisement, which you can, where you see the pictures. Now it can be Gruha Lakshmi Yojana, or it may be Shakti Yojana, it may be Beti Bachao Andolan, or it can be Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, whatever be the thing, School Chale Hum. So you have the manifestos, okay, for the political parties' manifestos in the form of those kind. Then you have a classified ads, propaganda posters. Okay, there was one. I just want to bring into your notice. There was a particular thing when the state just trying to add up to this, how these print advertisements can also create a kind of a ripple in the thing. So when the state went for election, that is 2023 elections, when we went 2023 elections, when we went back, when we go back to 2023 elections. So there was a particular ad which was been given by the present Congress party, having a chombu, okay, only a small utensil that had chombu. That is nothing. There was nothing, no message, nothing. That only one particular topic was about that chombu. That ad we have discussed in the classroom. We have written a lot about things. That means there is no use of words. You need not have to do anything. That will itself will make a propaganda. Okay, so it is like mocking the other political party. So in return, they also had many kind of advertisement. That is a secondary story. But many print advertisements can be brought in. Okay, nowadays you see almost all the front pages, 2.5 years of the thing, 5 years of our thing. Every political party will give about their developments, about their programs in the print. So yes, television, radio, in political advertisement, you should understand, in television advertisement, yes, we do find the party jingles, political party, their programs. Apart from this, in television, one of the most important way of advertising is conducting interviews of the politicians. Planting a CM or a PM or a finance minister's interview in NDTV or in Republic TV or in public TV is a political advertisement. Okay, you have to pay for that. Okay, you want your something to be told to the public. You want the visibility. You want to tell the people this is what the government is doing. So you have to buy time in the television and radio. So it has become. It is also part. It is also because they are all called as part of pay advertisements. Okay, parties, political leaders do pay this thing, paid debates. Okay, they only pay the money to the channel and they say, see, 1.5 hours, I want the slot in NDTV. So this will be the anchor and I want this political debate to happen. I want to speak about my government. I want to speak about my achievement of my government. So this also is a part of the political advertisement. Now we also have digital ads, and you might have seen in YouTube, wherever you see, there are pop-ups which come up. Okay, whenever you're watching some YouTube channel, you are just watching a film or watching a documentary or something, suddenly an ad will come up. Okay, if you want, you can skip the ad. If not, you can watch that ad. So you are also targeting that pop-ups or the tickets or whatever you see on the YouTube and all. That is also a part. You get paid for that. You have to pay to have that. Okay, so that is also the one of the, because I told you many of the youths are glued to the mobile or to the social media. So they doesn't want to leave even a single stone untouched where these lines are there, or pop-ups are there, some political party image is coming, so somebody neta is coming, or some work is being shown. I don't know, but each and everything have been there on the thing. Then outdoor, this is one of the very common kind of an advertisement what we have seen in the political party, hoardings. big hoardings, billboards, cutouts, buntings, paper things. Okay, but I've seen, no? Paytm. There was a very big campaign, especially in Karnataka, when they were Paytm. Okay, that scanning card, that also they were just having that. So that means there are many outdoor advertisement also which is being done electronically, which is being done. If I go to Mysore, we have a big circle there, even in the palace. So there are big hoardings, electronic hoardings, where the government programs, the beneficiaries, they keep speaking. So you can see all those things. That means the main purpose of doing this advertisement is to be in the public eye. Why do they do all these things? Because you want to be in the minds of the people. If there is something called as out of sight is out of mind. Okay, there's a particular proverb what we say. The same thing applies even for the politicians also. If you're not to be seen, if you're not there in the newspaper, or if you're not there in the television, if you're not there in the media, that means you're gone. People need this kind of a public, especially politicians. If you really want to be in the minds of the people, because public memory is very short, they tend to forget everything. So in order to be there in the mind, and in order to tell the people this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, you keep sending. This is a PR activity. This is also called as a public relation activity, which every politician does. But this is there. Then we also have influencer marketing, as I told, paid celebrity, social important social figures, cricketers, film actors, and influencers. They also become a part and parcel. And just yesterday I was just watching one particular program where the government has invited Shilpa Shetty for the yoga day. Okay, in Mumbai, means the government of Maharashtra, they had invited Shilpa Shetty because she practices yoga. It is not the yoga, it is the personality. It is yoga. Yeah, Shilpa Shetty is a very highly influential politician. She does yoga, fine. But there are also many other people who does yoga. But why not them? Why Shilpa? Because she is a crowd puller. So these kind of influences, and in the name of yoga, in the name of Shilpa Shetty, in the name of the personality and the celebrity endorsement, the party gets more weightage. Should have seen the kind of backdrop what they had. It spoke only about the government policies, programs, and all, and she was doing yoga. So these are some of the kind of strategies what is being, and yoga day, as we all know, it is a national world yoga day, so international yoga day, so that kind of a thing. So let me take you people to some of the case studies where it will be easy for you people to not only to understand and also to assess why this is. Okay, let me start with one of the case study way back in the year 2004, India Shining campaign. Okay, India Shining campaign was a BJP-led NDA which promoted this particular economic growth, because you know that was the time when the 1991 has passed, the Congress government had fallen back, and the BJP government was making its way. So the trend of BJP, the trend of that political party was emerging. Okay, so they came up with this campaign called as India Shining because they wanted to boost the economic development. So many of the advertisements which came at that particular point of time, and huge budget. I told you, television advertisement is very costly. Once they pay in terms of 1 second. Okay, just if your ad is for 10 seconds, you have to pay. Just imagine 1 second ke liye in IPL. I just give an example because we have studied that 1 second during IPL will cost you 3 lakhs rupees. So if my ad is 10 second ad, 3 into the 30 lakhs for one time. Just one ad for 10 seconds. In during IPL period, if I want to post my advertisement of a Nivea advertisement, it will cost me 30 lakhs for 1 minute, for the 10 seconds. Just imagine how much of money would have gone for our minutes together. 1 minute ad, 2 minutes ad, 30 seconds ad, 40 seconds ad. So this was one of the important. That is how television is making money today. And politicians don't think of this. They are ready to invest huge money. And this India Shining campaign was mainly about the economical growth. They wanted to show India. I'm speaking back of 20-25 years. It doesn't mean that India was not developed, but it was on the verge of developing. It was a developing country. Now we have become one of the strong fifth among the 10 countries. Stand very strong. Okay, in terms of education, in terms of science, technology, defense, and all. So this was the thing. So the advertisement started speaking more on urban elitism. Okay, so they wanted to criticize the thing. They wanted to bring the rural and the urban thing. Okay, but what happened was this political ad or this political campaign was backfired. Okay, because they criticized that the most of the advertisement were concentrating on urban elite, but not on the rural thing. Okay, so this particular ad, yes, they have spent huge money for billboards, everything was there, and they had also had a campaigning car van which did round across the country and all. But this every political ad is not going to be a success. There are many reasons, there are many chances that these ads can backfire also. So you need to be very careful about it. And according to the source of India Hindu, 2004, it was told that though they spent huge money in this campaign, it was a backfire. It never gave them the election, because even after doing all these things before elections and all, they lost the election. That was again the Congress party came into the party. Okay, that's the thing. Then came in the 2014, when they wanted to have a change, as the Congress party was on hold and all. So then they came up with a campaign. Every political campaign will always come with a slogan. This is one of the trend what we have to see. And over the reason why we are speaking more on India, INC and BJP is because these are the most important political parties, which has shown that especially BJP has been using social media for a greater extent, and they have been using it in a very effective manner also. So when 2014 election was on record, when it was supposed to be done, so they came up with a slogan called as "Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar." Okay, so you know the kind of words. See the words, the rhyming word, Hindi, the name is there. Okay, the Sarkar. Sarkar is nothing but the government. Okay, so was a puller. Okay, it was a kind of a crowd pulling also, and you know the kind of personality who was there. So usually in 2014, what followed during the 2014 election was the personalized slogans. The slogan which is very easy: Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, you know there are many kind of a thing. Okay, there I'll come up Nari Nyay. Okay, that was the Congress government thing. So what happened was there was a kind of a personalized slogan that it became a day. Then 2014, India was good enough, and technology wise also very good. Then came the 3D rallies, digital printing, holograms, all those things started coming up on the thing. Here, then the political campaign also started, not only focused on the appearance, but it also spoke on the content. Okay, so every message had something called as focus was more on the development. They spoke about the corruption free, these kind of things. So what happened was it became such a strong thing. People, it got into the minds of the people so much that BJP came to the power. I wouldn't say it is only because of political advertisement, but the kind of influence the political advertisement had, the kind of influence, because we have one theory in media which is called as bullet theory. Okay, bullet theory is something, if you keep on telling the same thing again and again to the people, it will get on to their mind. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ವಾಚ್ ಸಾಸ್ ಬಹು ಸೀರಿಯಲ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ವಾಚ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅತ್ತೆ ಸೊಸೆ ಸೀರಿಯಲ್. It is so much that it becomes a part of your system. Okay, so that way. So the thing is, it's a bullet theory. So they kept on telling about the Modi Sarkar, Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar. It became a slogan everywhere. It was there. Wherever you see, it is there, on the train, on the bus, on the airways, everywhere. So people start, okay, ek chance de dete hain. Okay, let us go with a chance. Let us give a try. So this made a kind of, it was a very strong wave in which the government came into the power. So which helped them the thing. And again, the sources about the why the mint. This was one of the reasons why the government could take off from 2014. Then we also have this Congress case study, which was called as the Congress Nyay scheme, again way back in the year 2019, which was about the guarantee scheme. Okay, government Nyay. Now we are on the same grounds. The state government also led the election. Okay, we took the election forward with the same scheme ad. Okay, that is the reason why we were able to come, because it was a flop, but only in this year we could make it out. So there was the highlight, the main advertisement was about the highlighting of the income guarantee schemes. And whatever the messages, the pictures, whatever they used, it was all emotional appeal. Okay, in advertisement, we have something called as emotional appeal. You have to appeal to the emotions of the people. For example, jewelry, women, that is an emotional appeal. Women, jewelry, marriage, daughter and father relationship, it's an emotional appeal. So what happens here is, now Rakhi festival is coming, brother and sisterhood relationship. Okay, again, it is emotional. So what happens here is, even in the government also, even in the political advertisement also, they started using this emotional appeal, where the poor people, the farmers, the women in the city, and the women in the rural areas, rural background, the tribals, they were the faces of the advertisement. So what happened was, they made even the marginalized also to be a part on the pictures. Okay, that is also there. They speaking for the government. Okay, you might have seen many of the political advertisement. I couldn't bring it here, but I'm actually sorry. But you might have seen how this thing happened. So, but though Congress government tried a lot in terms of all these things, but their message was very less as compared to the BJP. Okay, the kind of the money spent was very less, and there was a limited voter conversion happened at particular time. So they couldn't win the election even in 2019. Speaking of the central election. And we know again the BJP government came into thing. So why? Okay, what is the role of this social media and political advertisement? This is some of the example. So why it is happening? One is through social media, you can micro target the caste, the creed, the gender, the language, the region. So if it's an election now, you all know the election is coming up in Bihar. And a big particular advertisement was there in the Prajavani. I don't know how many of you have seen that. It was a very big controversy. Why Bihar government should give a front page ad in Bangalore or maybe in Karnataka. And Prajavani had carried a full page ad, which was backlashed. People started criticizing. So then the reality was, we know that there are many of the Biharis, there are many of the people, Bihar people who are working in these regions in Karnataka. So that was the reason why. For a paper like Prajavani, for them, it is an advertisement. It is a money because one full page of advertisement will cost him 30 lakhs rupees one day. Okay, one full page ad now what you call as a full page ad. One day it is 30 lakhs to 40 lakhs rupees. Back page it is 20 lakhs rupees. Just imagine people giving so much of an ad, and politicians don't mind doing this because the only thing is it has to convert into a voter. Okay, so apart from that, we also have many messages coming up on WhatsApp. Whenever you give a call, you must be knowing that you will listen to that voting ad. Please come and vote, please come and vote. So on telephone, WhatsApp, Facebook, almost all the political parties used to send the messages to you on your feed. That is also there. So we call them as sponsored ad. Okay, we call them as sponsored ad, and politicians will have to pay the money to the Facebook or to the influencer. So they will come and do a propagation on their behalf to you. Okay. So next we have something called the Google and YouTube advertisement. This is being extensively used by almost all the politicians, whether they are the global leaders, global parties, or the regional parties. They have been using this YouTube and Google for the advertisements in the recent time. Okay. For example, the pre-roll advertisement before the videos. Okay. Before the video starts, there will be a gap. So we call it as a pre-roll ad. So in that pre-roll ad, instead of products or instead of consumer goods, you will have a political ad. Like Barack Obama coming and speaking, or like Nitish Kumar coming and speaking, or like Chandrababu Naidu coming and speaking, or like our Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar coming and speaking. So that means before the video starts, you will have a message from a politician or from a political party. So this is reaching out to the people. People to think, oh yes, at least that means they don't want to be left out anywhere. They don't want to leave out any of the media houses or the media channels where they can't reach the people. Okay, so that is that. That is also there. Second important thing is about the personalization of the behavior. What is the people are searching? Nowadays, you have the media team. What happens at Facebook is the algorithms. You have a research team who sits and who will see what Sapna is seeing the whole day. What is the kind of video Sapna is posting? What is that she is searching? Everything will be there. Personal algorithms, personal data will be there with the Facebook. So if they happen to see that Sapna is searching only about political parties, elections, Karnataka and almost all the things, what comes to my feed is only about that political thing. So this has become a kind of a personalized thing. You may be surprised. Because they know what is it you are searching. You have searched in Hindi song. Same line in Hindi song. For example, if you are browsing some Netflix or YouTube, just because you have watched this horror film, so you have a list of horror films. So this is what the algorithm tells you. So whenever you are discussing or whenever you write about a political advertisement or a politician, they get to know that you have this bent of mind and the same content will come to you. And politicians are cashing upon this. Okay, they are trying to do about this. So see, by 2019, the campaign, they had more than 150 crore digital impressions. That means people have started responding to them. A comment, a thumbs up, an additional message. So these are nothing but you are trying to develop your ideologies free of cost. Even ದುಡ್ಡು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. If I do the same thing for a newspaper, I have to spend lakhs together. But if I'm doing it freely of cost, I'm paying some money. It's not completely free. If I need to pay, I need to pay some influencer 30, 40,000 lakh or maybe 10, 15 lakh, and my work is done. So these are the kind of things what political parties are trying to do. We also have these influencers and celebrity endorsement. The government of India, as you all know, during elections, they hook on to or they will invite any of the personality to be the face of the thing. Like even in Karnataka also, during the election, the Karnataka government, even in Mysore, we had Javagal Srinath, okay, because I was working very closely with ZP, CEO ಜೊತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, because we wanted the Mysorean youth to come and vote. So what we made is we made Javagal Srinath, the cricketer, as the face of election in Mysore. I'm speaking of election. So we used to take him to the colleges. He used to tell students to come and vote, especially. So what happens here is we try to bring in people. Even when India wanted to come, India tourism, the government of India wanted to develop the tourism in India. So they said, come to India, okay, Incredible India. The campaign name was Incredible India. It was a political and also tourism ad. The place mute. The place mute. Okay, so the thing is, so what happened in Incredible India? So Amir Khan was the celebrity who spoke about the Incredible India tourism, come to India, because that was done after the Nirbhaya case. People stopped coming from abroad because they thought Delhi is a rape capital. So why I'm telling you all these things, each and everything are interrelated. So when you look into the influence and the celebrity endorsement, we have Bollywood cricketers. So Bollywood stars, cricketers, like it can be Dhoni, it can be Virat Kohli, Shilpa Shetty, or maybe Amitabh Bachchan coming and speaking about use of toilet. You must also know that nowadays there is a particular thing. Okay, you have to construct a toilet. For that particular thing, Amitabh Bachchan is the lead campaigner. So the thing is, or maybe Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan, Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan is about the reaching out to the school children for education. So we have people. So that is one way where you can appeal to the youth. Okay, because we want youth. I told you again, youth is very much important. But the demographic. I can't have Amitabh Bachchan in Karnataka. So instead of that, I'll bring in Puneet Rajkumar, or I'll bring in any Sudeep. So the thing is, this is also being done. Who is the crowd pillar? The politicians will see, and politicians will bring those people. Just one word by Sudeep during the election changed the whole campaign. Okay, so just being in the political party with BJP, he attended one BJP, what do you call, the campaign. Just he attended as a star. People thought that Sudeep has been a part of the BJP. So people will start voting for BJP. So these are some of the strategies which have been employed because they are because of their popularity, because of their influence. That the second important thing is about the paid reels. I told you, right? Today, nowadays in social media, we have the paid reels where we try to inject the political messages, political ideologies, political ideas. Okay, we have been using that paid reels. Then we also have issue-based advocacy. There are also many people in the country. I told you about there are something called podcasters are there, stand-up comedians are there. Okay, so those are people who will speak about issue-based advocacy. They take up any serious issue and the politicians or political party will feed them. They give them the money, or maybe they speak about the issue-based advocacy. For example, they speak about women issue. They speak about the national defense, or they may speak about the children's education. They may speak about the health and hygiene. So what happens here is you are trying to create an awareness that if this particular government comes, they are going to do this. So you are influence issue-based advocacy. So let us do this. Let us ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Fine. Small scale industry should be developed. Somebody will speak about that. Somebody tomorrow will speak about the fertilizers. Somebody will speak about the animal husbandry. So each and every issue based advocacies is also what the political people have been doing. And political content, as I told you, there are n number of political content developers in YouTube. Youth is to create, for example, Wikipedia. I don't know how many of you have been knowing. You just know the Wikipedia, they create the content. Okay. At the same time, also do some political content. During this RCB elections, RCB, what do you call, cup win RCB final match, they created a particular anthem for RCB. After winning the match, again, they created an anthem. So there are many kind of things where you can do this content creation. There is no lack of creative people in the country. They can do in any languages, they can do it any, and the system, the video graph, or maybe the pictures, the music, the graphics, everything, the dialogues, everything is very apt. And politicians don't leave these people untouched. Yare tumba famous irtare, they pick them up and they pay the money and they get the things done. At the end of the day, the vote, it should be converted into a vote. And as I told, it comes to the emotional appeal in political advertisement. Usually, these are the things what we usually do. One is the music. The music, whenever political emotions, and when I speak of emotions, it should give hope. It should bring fear. It should bring joy. It should bring fear. All this kind of a thing. So usually we use music. I don't know, maybe many of my friends will be seeing this. I mean, if you recall, we go back to around 20, 25 years. We had this DD thing, Mile Sur Mera Tumara. There was a song, Mile Sur Mera Tumara. That was a song which used to be played early morning whenever the Delhi Doordarshan used to be played, Mile Sur Mera Tumara, where all the sports star, that's an emotion. So you can see the musicians, dancers, film actors, everybody coming in that song, Bal Murali Krishna's song. So that was an emotional appeal. So in the same way, even the politicians nowadays are using this music. So they bring in the music, okay, or a particular party, they bring in the music. Especially in Telangana, I've seen many, I don't know in Kannada, I'm not getting the examples, but in Telangana, or maybe in Telugu, maybe in Tamil Nadu also, every state does it, but I'm not able to relate it right now at this point of time. So they create songs. Okay, they create this kind of a songs where they speak about the government and all. So music, which is very evocative music, symbols, the memorable slogans. I told you the slogans. Creating a slogan is the biggest thing. Okay, people are paid crores together to create one slogan. One the slogan ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಕೋಟ್ಯಾಂಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So this Abki Baar Modi Sarkar, it is there in everybody's thing. Okay, so it became a anthem for the people in that particular party, or maybe the people who are supporting that political party. So these are some of the important things. I'm just giving an example because I told you, Abki Baar Modi speaks about, see, the line itself will speak about hope. Okay, yes, Modi ji is leading the thing. It's a pride for us. Okay, so there are many things which, see, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. I'm not going to be more political. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So there is Beti, that means girl. So girl has to be educated. She has to be given education. So let us raise the girl. Let us give her empowerment. So all these things are there in the line. How much you understand, because it is very much necessary for us to play with the emotional appeal. And politicians are doing this very thing. And in INC also apology ad, there was also, as you all know, in 1984, there was a riots and Sikh riots that was also been done. And media spending, this is very much important for you. Why, with all these things, how much of the money is media spending? Political advertisements give them huge money. Okay, tumba ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. And it each and every, I told you now, 1 ad during elections, 100 times one particular advertisement will come. Crores and crores of rupees are being spent. So see, over the last decade, when we were doing a small research about how much of the politicians or political parties individually they spend, from party also they will spend, the party workers will also spend. Okay, there are different ways of spending. Election time limbu godu duddella heng bandutte. So during elections, seizing will be happening. So you can't transfer the money. Voters are being given the money. You know all those things what happened. But in come to advertising, in India, political advertisement has grown very exponentially. Okay, it is very significant over the last 10-15 years. The amount which is spent on advertisement is completely 100 times more. It has multiplied. It's not 1 time, 2 time, or 3 times. 100 times it has become more. Yes, during elections, traditional media, that is TV, radio, and radio, it can reach out to the rural masses. So that's the reason why they have been targeting the radio. Print and television, even now, there are the largest investment. During election, I'm just giving an example. If a newspaper is earning 100 rupees as a revenue, I'm just giving an example, 100 rupees during the regular days, in election time, they will earn lakhs of rupees. Just imagine where is 100 rupees per day, lakhs of rupees per day, only during the elections. So from the date the announcement is done till the result, 3 to 4 months of time, the newspapers, that's the reason why many of the the YouTube channels will start mushrooming at that time. You have to speak about that party. They need somebody who can be the mouthpiece of the political party. So then, as I told, yes, digital platform like Google, YouTube, There has been a lot of increase in the political activities. Interviews are being done, ads are being made, all those kind of things. Then transparency. One challenge what we have is the transparency. There is no transparency. Who is funding? So Shilpa Shetty may come, or maybe somebody else may come, or maybe any challenge, any influencer may come. We will never know who has spent it. They can speak about one political party, but who has funded him, that is not possible for us to find out also. So in this way, there is a limited access for the financial source. And yes, in India, the regulatory body is not so strong, especially online. I don't know who is speaking for me or who will be speaking for one political party or one political leader. I don't know who is. I'll speak. It is my freedom. I'll speak about this particular party only. I may say, but somebody may be funding me. But it's very difficult for me to identify that. So there is no strong regulatory body. Nobody can stop anybody from speaking so. So what has happened here is there has been a strong impact on the voter behavior by seeing the advertisements, by spending so much, by seeing it every belegedre ad. If you pick up a call, ad, okay, something or the other, and if you're watching a movie, ad will pop up on elections. 26th April, voting day, be there, carry this, carry that. So that means it keeps on telling me every now and then. So what has happened here is there has been a huge impact on the behavior of the voters. One is, as I told you, people without the knowledge of political parties have got much more aware in India, especially. Okay, you just go to any rural part of India. I have seen many of my, when we go for studies and all, or when we go for the field visit and all, educated class kinta, uneducated people in the rural area, they speak so well. They speak so logically and rationally. Sometimes we feel, yes, what they're telling is correct. Sometimes we feel that. That means you are, through these political advertisements and political discussions, you are trying to create an awareness about a candidate, about a program. Oh, people are speaking. That means you have given them a food for thought. Whether good or bad, that is secondary, I'm speaking. But you have a content. You can speak. People are there to speak about the 10 minutes. He doesn't have schooling. He is a person with thumb impression, but still he speaks good about the government of Karnataka or government of India. He can speak because thanks to social media, the content, the information, what he is grabbing. So that is one kind of a thing. Second is people are trying to get in touch. Emotionally, they're getting more and more affected. Yes, if I do this, I may help my girl student or my girl child. Okay, people are becoming more and more emotional renaissance with the advertisements. Then some of them also feel that it is overexposure. See, too much of a thing at a time can also be what you call as vomiting tara. Okay, it is like you're getting so much of information, what you call as infodemic at the curriculum. Okay, infodemic is nothing but you have too much of an information. You are not able to understand what to follow, what not to follow. Whether I should follow Mr. A, whether I should follow Mr. B, both that all five are telling the same thing. But who is correct? Who is factual? So these kind of content is called as infodemic. We use the word infodemic. That means info pandemic bandaga. Infodemic is nothing but huge flow of information to one person. Facebook also says the same thing. Paper also says the same thing. YouTube also says the same thing. Whom I'm supposed to believe? So it has become a kind of fatigue for me. ವಾಕರ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ in the thing we feel like you puking ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಅಂತ. So that is also over exposure of information can also lead to kind of things. And yes, youth and first time voters, okay, we want to create a first time voters, we want to make them vote. That is also one of the kind of a thing, and people have converted it. So this time we were just doing that sweep when I was a part of the sweep. So they said you have to target youngsters because youngsters are not coming to vote, though we have so many number of voters in Mysore city itself. So we went to colleges, we spoke to the colleges, we spoke to the children, that means the students. You may believe it or not, just 1% target. The last time it was some young voters between the age of 18 and 25. So around 26, I'm just giving the wrong figure, 26.6 itto. This time it is just 27.6. That means even that 1% is an improvisation for us. So that means youngsters na believe mado tumba kasta. Don't think that just because people are watching a political advertisement doesn't make them a voter, doesn't make them to come to the particular thing and vote. But crores of rupees are being spent. Okay, so then yes, another important thing we need to understand is about the misinformation through advertisements. Advertisement comes with information, but at the same time, it also comes with misinformation. There are two things which I want to tell you. It's out of the thing. One is called as misinformation and another is called as disinformation. Misinformation is something which I receive on my mobile or which I receive as a content, which I'm not true, which I don't know whether the information given to Sapna is right or wrong, but I understand, but I get the message and I forward it to somebody else. That is misinformation. Any information which has been forwarded without my knowledge or without my understanding is called as misinformation. Disinformation is a kind of information that I know that it is wrong. I know if I forward this particular message, it is going to harm the society. Intentionally, I do that information, I send that information to another 100 people. That is called as disinformation. ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪುನ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನನಗೇನಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯನ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, some misunderstanding about a girl, some rape video or some pornography. I know it is wrong, but still I'm doing it to somebody else. So these kind of info. So in politics, in India, the disinformation is very much. You are creating political advertisements are more of disinformation. You want to break the barriers. So you want to create a barriers in front of the people. Religion, food, language, culture, dressing, everything comes there. So this is not the right way. And politicians are pouncing upon these kind of, because social media has become a medium through which this disinformation can be spread. So namge, when we look into the picture, when we are doing a lot of work on this, so we got to know that there are many false information, misleading data. Government says, so we have built so much of schools in the country. Where is the figure? They say 100 schools have been built. Where are these 100 schools? Thousands of lakhs of people are getting jobs. Okay, we say India is investing so much. Where is the investment? Show us the data. There is no data. So thing means, I can't believe everything on a face value. Just because somebody is telling, I can't believe that. So we said, even during the, so many people have been killed in the war. So many people have been killed in the operations. Where is the picture? That's the reason why the very next day, the team sat there as a live thing to give them the figures, to tell them where the bombing has happened. So this has become a kind of an misinformation. So we as educated people, or we as educated class and academics, need to look into this. So political advertisement can be a false thing until unless it is not being cross-checked. Okay, so then yes, lack of regulations. Again, one of my colleague was asking, Kambles was asking about what is the regulation. Yes, in India, there is no regulations as such. So regional language, those debates, all those things has been also become a part and parcel of the political advertisements. We also have something called as dark advertisements and algorithm targeting. So this is being done by the political parties very much. Okay, so where they, I should say, manipulate the content. Okay, though it is not there, they create as if it is there. Okay, so how, see, you people know what is an what is an AI. I can easily make out this particular picture is an, or a video is an AI created one. Everything I can make out. But how will a rural person understand? He'll think, oh, this is a real picture. Oh, ಇದೇ ತರ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರೇನಾ, ಓ ಮೋದಿ ಸರ್ ಈ ತರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾರಾ, ಓ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಈ ತರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾರಾ. So thing is, you are having only the lip movement, you are having the picture, but the content is different. The voice is of somebody else. So how many of us know about that? So we are trying to create an awareness through Factshala about these kind of content, about digital literacy. So hidden ads, as I told you, where you can't tell them directly, but there are many hidden ads. Then reinforcing biases. Okay, so we know during elections, there are many communities which have been targeted, or which is marginalized have been targeted. Some genders have been targeted. So you are trying to polarize. You are bringing the compartmentalization by reinforcing bias. You are not supposed to vote. So now even now transgenders can vote. Even they're the third gender, they can vote. So with how many of number of years, how many transgenders are doing? I've been working with transgenders. We were able to get them the voter this thing in Mysore. So we went to their houses then. So they said we don't have voter thing. Then we created the thing. We made the ZP office to sit through. We got their data. We got their Aadhaar cards. Everything. Now they have the voter card. So the thing is, there are many kind of biases. See, politicians may tell you come and vote, because now third gender vote also matters. Okay, there are around 11 lakh people in Mysore itself. There are around, in Mysore city, there are around 381 people. So they're all voting. So thing is, these are the kind of thing biases. See, political advertisement doesn't mean only to do this. You are supposed to bring a kind of a change also. Okay. Then regulatory in India, as I told you, when it comes to political advertisements, there has been some kind of a restrictions and some kind of, though it is there on paper, theoretically, it is there on paper, but we see very less number of these guidelines have been followed by the political parties. And you all know every politicians are supposed to spend only this much of money for an elections, but we see them spending more. So there are regulatory mechanisms like Election Commission of India issues as the guideline. Okay, then paid news is very illegal. Everybody knows paid news is very illegal. But how many of us are doing it? Okay, how many of the politicians doesn't do the paid ad? Every ad during election is a paid ad. Okay, so then pre-certification, okay, required. So we say whenever an ad is being released during the elections, it has to be pre-certified. Print, electronic, social media, any other kuda ನೀವು ನಮ್ದು permission ತಗೋಬೇಕು. We sit in the DC office during election to see if any politicians have given any political ad which is wrong, misleading and all. We sit in the DC office during election. ಯಾವುದು complaints ಬರಲ್ಲ. Nobody will raise question. We want public to raise question, but none of the public come forward. Nobody comes. So there is a pre-certification which also doesn't work. Okay, people only will know. There has to be complaint from the people. General public should come and complain us, ma'am, see, there's an advertisement in Andolana or some Indian Express or some this thing, and it is very misleading. It is wrong. Then we'll take action on them. Till now, we have been sitting in DC's office in all the election. People, some of my friends could also be working. We don't find. I see some media. So now kutkoltivale videos galna nodtivi. So please mute it. Just another 10 minutes. I'll wind up. Okay, so we sit in the DC's office. ನಮಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದನೇ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿನ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್? ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಮೆಲಿಷಿಯಸ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್? ನೋಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೂರಿಸಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ತನಕ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, there is nothing. Nobody came and filed the complaint. So there are many regulatory mechanisms, but our people are not working. So they're okay with it. Chalta hai, chalo. Why should I be bothered about what BJP says or what Indian Congress, National Congress says? I don't want to do that. Okay, this is the kind of a thing. And social media platform should maintain transparency. This is also one of the guidelines given by the government, but none of the thing works there. Okay, so this is the loophole. Legally, why we are not able to work, or why is that we are not able to catch the hold of the political thing, is because of this. One is third party financing. The political party says, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not funding anything. My people are funding. Who is that person? I don't know. So this third party financing, or maybe the content take down the delays. Okay, sometimes there are many contents which is being done. Messages are being drawn, which is very instigating kind of a thing. Normally, we don't have a strong law. So there are very weak penalties, like 1 day jail and 10,000 fine. So that's that kind of thing, or take away from the YouTube. So only these kind of weak penalties are there. After 2 days, again, the ad will come back in a different format. That's it. Okay, so these kind of loopholes is what has been found in the political advertisement. Then media ownership, yes, I need to bring it out because today almost all the media houses in India are managed and owned by politicians. One or the other politicians has a news channel. NDTV is owned by Ambani. Okay, so then India thing is owned, India Group is owned by Adani, or maybe Sun TV is owned by Dayanidhi Maran. Okay, or maybe that kind of a thing. So what has happened here is one or the other political parties are owning the ownership. And I can't speak anything because every politicians have a channel and they want to propagate only their messages. So they want extensive coverage. They want their space, they want their time. So they'll tell, Sapna, you bring them and make an interview. So I have to make an interview. Whether it's a good or bad, it's secondary. But I should be there on TV. My words should be there. My coverage should be there. People should see me. I should be visible. The visibility kodabeko. This is. So what has happened? There has been a very close nexus between these politicians and media sometimes, which is an open secret. Everybody knows it because many of the people are funding it. Okay, this is also one of the drawback of the media ownership also. So what an advertising, all these advertisements come through advertising agencies. So there are many advertising agencies in the country which place the advertisements in TV, in the news channels and all. So one is political consultant. They tailor make. Sir, we are conducting an interview in NDTV, prime time, 8 o'clock. So you are there for half an hour. Rajdeep Sardesai will interview and these are the questions and these are the things you have to answer. So creating a kind of a positive message. You are tailor making. So you're telling this is what you have to supposed to say. This is a question. Give them only good things. Don't speak any negative. So what has happened here is even the advertising agencies, they are trying to do all these kind of thing. And you have an in-house digital team, okay, who will write the messages, who will create new. You might have seen the Facebook of the thing. They might have seen the kind of videos what you have. Okay, many of my students are working with politicians, like media advisors. So their duty is whenever the politician goes to any rally, they have to click the pictures, they have to write a note, and they have to put some good videographs, and they have to write some comments of the people from here and there, and make a positive image of that person. Whether the program is good or bad, that's secondary, but you have to create a positive image. So these are some of the kind of things what has been regularly happening in the political field also. And yes, normally ethical dilemma, if you take it, communal sentiments we have, anybody writes about any particular community or a communal, it becomes a different thing. Tragedy of poverty. People are being paid money to give the oath. That is also one of the sympathy oath, or maybe fake endorsement, ethical guidelines. We don't have any ethical. Just see the comparative global trend. I just wanted to bring this into picture. I just wanted to tell you, see, these are the ways in which the comparative perspective can be done. In US, ads and emotional campaigns. These are the ways. Strict control on ad blackout and periods. This is the Philippines. TikTok influencers are being used for disinformation. I told you, disinformation is only to. In India, see, this, we are still evolving between the regulation and the deregulated innovations. So there are, I can't say that in the whole world, yes, they are using, but the intensity, the frequency, and in the way in which the social media is used in India is not at all par with any of the other country. Okay, even in America also, even much of the developed country like France, Germany, they don't use political things so much as we are using. Okay, so that is also one of the thing we need to question. Now, ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ, as I told, in terms of electoral, how it is going to impact our electoral people is means unequal access, marginal parties. Some of the time we don't match with the. See, just imagine a party like BJP or Indian National Congress with one of the local party. Okay, there is no this thing at all. I can't match the amount of money what BJP spends, the kind of amount what a particular AAP spends is completely different. So this is also one of the reason why political parties have got edge. They have spent 80-90 crores for one election. Just imagine, just give us a picture, 80-90 crores for one. The other party hardly spends 1 crore. So the reason why I'm stressing more on BJP is because this is the party which has standardized the way in which the social media campaigns can be done. How clearly, how effectively, ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇ BJP party. And you see everything. Okay, even our Prime Minister, wherever you go, he keep posting. Okay, it is nothing but visibility. You want to be in the news. I'm not saying it's nothing wrong in that, but how many of them are doing it? That is also one of the questions, because Janagalge, you should be there in their mind. Okay, that is also there. Then the role of fact checking. I am always into this because I am a part of this fact checking in the global, Google News, Google India. I am a part of that thing. So we keep doing a lot of programs for children, for students and teachers about fact checking, how to do fact checking. So we have many alt news, fact checker, news minute. These are all the fact checkers. Yade one new pictures kotru kuda, we can identify whether it's a real picture or a false picture. Okay, so we have to create awareness. Yes, we are all doing by creating awareness about the civil society, campaigns, political literacy, all those things we are trying to do. Curriculum. So as political teachers, we have, it's there in our curriculum. I don't say, even in the media also, we do have all these things, but how much is being used? Yeah, please, ma'am, please mute it. Kapil sir. So the thing is, we need to check how much of the curriculum and the political literacy we are trying to create in the proper manner. That has to be checked. Says in the future, there is political ad, whatever is being said and done, political ad is going to stay. You can't stop the political ad because politicians, political parties and their ideologies is very strong. So one thing is, there is a huge increase in the AI. Artificial intelligence is being used. That augmented reality, campaigning, virtual campaigning, then people are getting more and more personalized, political avatars, chatbots and all has been coming up. And people are watching it very carefully. Don't take people, maybe 10-15% people are there, 20% people are there who will watch your activities very scrutiny. Okay, scrutiny ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so you can't take everybody for granted. Okay, you can fool and rural people or we can cheat a person who is illiterate, but not everybody are getting to be cheated. But yes, if you create more awareness, or if you create more create an awareness or an elaborated way in which the political things has to be viewed, then I think there may be something. I don't say uproot madakagade overnight. I can't uproot the whole political system in the country. Nobody can do that. But as political teachers, or what could be done? How the political thing can be managed or ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು at least that can be thought about. Okay. So these are some of the recommendations. We need to see the funding. We need to see the transparency of the digital ad, and also educate the voters. The most important is about educating the voters. Manipulative ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, how much you can control. Okay, don't get carried away by goodies. See, what I feel is, see, people are the one who are using this all the yojanas and all. Okay, it can be any yojana, central or state. And again, the same people are going to blame the government. Okay, so there is a kind of a thing. You are using and you are scolding the government. Okay, fine. You may not be using, but others are using. There are also people, they are also voted. So there is a kind of a dilemma in all these things. So there is a need for us to educate these kind of voters. And yes, journalism is always there. Whenever there is a wrong, the people should speak, and it is for the people. And people have to take the strong lead and be the watchdog, so that we can make everybody, even the media also, to work in a very proper manner. Yes, I'll stop it here. I think it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes to go. But anyways, I'll be happy to have questions. If any question is there, I'll go ahead with it.